Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for World Trigger, Chapter 144. Okay, and this chapter was actually very simple and pretty quick to go through. Um, it's the entirety of the chapter, with the exception of the last page. It's a flashback to when Katori and Hana went through the initial neighbor attack back when they were kids. Well, I mean, they're still kids, but back when they were younger kids, um, Katri was still just as much of a jerk as she is now. Um, as a matter of fact, oh yeah, actually, yeah, she's actually she's still acting like a child even now. Um, but she she was thought of as a bad influence for Hana because Hana was one of those kids who studied a lot and always wanted to be number one in the class. And her father thought of Yoko Katri as a bad influence, therefore he prevented his daughter from going there anymore. But they're next door neighbors and their rooms are right next to each other, so they still saw each other whenever they wanted to. Um, but eventually, what happens is the neighbor attack happens. Both of their houses collapse. Yoko, her and her family, they all survive. But Hana's parents, they die because she decided that um, it would be more well, she didn't decide that it'd be more worth it, but she chose to save Yoko instead because she believed that Yoko had a higher chance of surviving than her parents did because the roof to her house is heavier than Kateri's, so she just thought that Kateri would have a better chance of survival, so she went after her. Which shouldn't it be the opposite? The person who's in the most immediate danger you go after and try to save, because the person in the least immediate danger has a higher chance of surviving longer, therefore you can go to them later on. But whatever, she's a child, so whatever. But the point is, she saves Yoko and her parents die. In the end, she decides that she's going to join Border because you can get free housing from them if you join up and become like a legit agent and everything. And Kateri decides that she's going to join up too. And fast forward to present, and we're back. And yeah, um, that's that. I mean, the flashback didn't really do much for me. I guess it was trying to explain why Kateri doesn't like people who think that they can do anything, but I don't really see how this flashback was relevant to that, because no one in this chapter thought they could do everything. I guess you could try to make the argument that Hana thought that, but not really. Hana had an interesting view of what happened was Yoko asked her, "Why do you study so much? Is it because your parents tell you to?" And she says, "No, it's not because my parents tell me to. I study because I want to understand the world from my parents' perspective, but also from other perspectives in case they end up being wrong about it." So I don't know. Hana was the type of person, she didn't want to be able to accomplish anything and do anything regardless of um, how low the chances of success were. She just wanted to be able to understand the world pretty much. So I don't really see the relevance of the flashback in the context of this fight and again this moment. So I don't know, but even so, it was a fine chapter. I mean, it was fine. So I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. And that's how you guys. I don't know if you saw my tweets earlier today, but I am in a good freaking mood. Okay, I'm in a good freaking mood. I just finished the final days of Superman arc that DC did, Superman issue 52. And I also finished the Darkseid War, which is just the best thing I've read in years. Like it just blew my mind. Like this was just freaking great. This was freaking great, man. I mean, that final issue, issue 50 of Justice League. The storyline ran from issues 40 to 50. 40 was the prologue, and 41 through 50 was like the main story. Plus, there was an extra chapter in there, like a special that came out in between issues 46 and 47, I think. Plus, there were some individual issues focusing on Batman, Shazam's, Green Lantern, yeah, stuff like that. But for the most part, the storyline went from issues 41 to 50, with 40 being the prologue and the little special that continued the story in between there. But that was that the Darkseid War is freaking fantastic, you guys. Like I highly recommend it. I cannot recommend it enough. It is freaking awesome. Okay, that final issue, so much went down. It's my mind got blown so many times over. It's like Swiss cheese right now. Like this. Like, oh my gosh, there's so, and I'm not even done yet because I ended up picking up this bad boy right here, DC Universe Rebirth. I gotta break this open sooner or later. All right, we got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash on the cover there. Plus, the cover, it's like a double-sided cover. So this is the full picture. You got Green Lantern there, Aquaman, Supergirl, Green Arrow, Batgirl, Shazam, Jessica Cruz right here. Jessica Cruz is freaking awesome. John Jones, Starfire, Cyborg. You know, so like, yeah, I cannot wait to get into this. Oh my gosh, I need, and that's not even it, because while I was at the store today, I didn't just pick up DC Universe Rebirth. I picked up this bad boy, Green Lantern Rebirth, because I've never read it before. Last night, I read Green Lantern Secret Origins, and I figured this would be the next best thing to read, Green Lantern Rebirth. Then eventually I'll go through all of Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern from the 2005 series. Then I'll go into the New 52 Green Lantern series eventually. Then I'll just try to catch up to all the Green Lantern stuff, man. Yo, comics are so good, man. The comics are, sooner or later I'll get into Marvel. Sooner or later, I just don't have the time for it right now, or the motivation. So, right now I'm sticking with DC, but eventually I'll get in. I have the Marvel Unlimited app. I just don't have the subscription, so I can't actually read anything. But I do have the app, so you can tell, like, eventually, I do plan on getting into it eventually. It's just a matter of deciding when. So, eventually I'll get into that, but that's what's going on with me right now, you guys. DC. Rebirth. Oh, man. The Darkseid War and the final days of Superman. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that's it, you guys. Try to get to 6.5 out of 10. Rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at BlacklistOTA. Read the Darkseid War, and I will see you guys next time. You'll thank me for it later, trust me.